right. Good morning on this Friday, October 4th. I was super busy yesterday. Super busy. I got up and had to finish a project I started on Wednesday and did not get done because I had a meeting Wednesday afternoon for the same company I was doing the project for. So I had to finish that yesterday. Then I had another much smaller project to do, but while I was doing that, I was running back and forth getting ready for an interview I had in town. And this town is roughly about 8 miles away. It's a 3-hour walk. So I either had to walk it or I had to find a ride. Luckily, I found a ride. My neighbor had to go into town, so that's what we did. She had to run some errands in town, so I went to my interview, picked up a couple groceries because the interview was in a grocery store, and we ran some other errands. But the economy, oh my goodness. If you've been a freelancer or a gig worker or whatever, you're probably watching your income just tank. And that's what I've been doing for the last year and a half. I've been hanging on, and I don't think I can hang on anymore. It depends. Book sales have to go way up. And book sales are increasing. That's the positive. I am seeing an increase in book sales. But it's not fast enough and not dramatic enough to make a difference in 3 months. That's right. The books you buy today, in October, those sales will matter at the end of December. So for books that you're buying from independent authors this month, you are going to help them on December 29th. So just after Christmas. If you were hoping to help an author on Christmas, you missed the window. It was last month. But let me talk about this interview. It was a group interview. They canvassed whoever applied and said, we're doing interviews on yesterday. And the interviews were in the afternoon. And you had to confirm that you were going to be there. I expected, once I figured out what they meant by group interview, I expected, maybe 3 or 4 other people. There were at least 10. 3 other people showed up when I did. And I went and walked the store to refamiliarize myself with the particular retail establishment. I hadn't been in there in years because they're 8 miles from me and it's a 3-hour walk. I'm not going to do that one too much. And I met the store manager and the assistant manager. That was cool. And there were so many of us, they split us into 2 groups. One group toured the store, which wasn't, there's not much to a retail store. And the other one did the interview. I can't tell you how I did because she asked me about my last job responsibilities and said something weird. And I said, do you mean the last job I had to go to? And she's like, yes. Oh, all right. So that's going to be a thing in the future. I can tell you that right now. Because they're going to be like, what'd you do in your last job? Well, what last job do you mean, dude? Do you mean the one I'm working now or the one where I actually had to buy gas, a car insurance, and spend all this shit to actually get there? Oh, the one where you spent a lot of shit to actually get there. There you go. And that's the biggest drawback of this job. It's just how much it's going to cost me to get there. This is why I don't like this. But they were paying almost $18 an hour, so it almost pays for it. But you're talking about taking an Uber both ways, and it's going to be $70 a day if I take an Uber both ways. It's a full-time job, so we'll say, but it's a short full-time job, 4 days a week. So 70 times 4 is $280 a week just to get to this job. Times 4. It's going to be almost 50%, a little more than 50% of the income is going to go to getting to this job. I can cut that in half by like taking an Uber in the morning and walking home in the evening, and that may be what I do. But it's just going to be really, really expensive to get there. Even if I were to get a car, you're talking I would have to, make car payments, buy car insurance, buy gas, get the oil changed, have the tires changed, just it's going to be really, really expensive to get there. So after I mathed this job out, and you're talking it pays almost $18 an hour. After I subtracted the Ubers, the lunches, the taxes, and this, that, and the other, the actual hourly rate is going to be somewhere between $4 and $5 an hour, which means I will take home after fees for if it's actually 32 hours a month times $4 or 32 hours a week. I will take home $512 a month. The good news is that's exactly what I need to make rent, and that is why I am going to go to work and waste 32 hours of my life a week to make sure I can always make rent. But I'm sure not going to get rich off of it because I'm only going to be taking home, after all the fees and taxes, $512. But I'll be taxed for all of it. You better believe it. So that's another $6,000 a year. Keep in mind that the job pays almost $18, so that's going to be I need to times 30 or 52. So out of the almost $30,000 that I will earn from that job, I will take home just a little more than $6,000. Wow! So that is, let's see, %, 20 to 21% of my income is what I will take home. The other 80% goes somewhere else. Certainly not in my pocket. And that's the state of the jobs in the USA. Now here's the fun thought for you. In order to make that $5 an hour, that $40 a day, 5 days a week, I would need to sell 20 books a day. 5 days a week, 20 books a day. Whole books, we're talking whole books. So if, let's see, I need to sell 20 books a day times 5 days a week. It's 100 books I need to sell. Let's divide that by 7. 14 books a day. Divide by 24. So that's I basically need to sell one book every 35 minutes. Every 35 minutes. And I don't have to go to this job and waste an incredible amount of time and money to do it. The bad news is I don't sell 20 books a day. I'll sell 4 or 5, on a good day. And I sell quite a few across the month, but it's not that. So anyway, the surprising thing about it was that there were like 10 people there. And they were from all different walks of life. One lady looked like she maybe used to be an office worker. Another guy looked like he used to be warehouse. And I don't know about the other guys. I try not to pay attention to people. But what was apparent to me was that none of these guys had really worked retail in a while. But did we all know how to use a pallet jack? Yeah, we did. We all knew how to use a pallet jack. We all know what walk-in coolers and freezers are. We've worked them before. But it may have been decades ago. Decades ago. So that's the state of the U.S. economy. It's pretty bad. So I was surprised. And then I got home. I don't remember what I did. I think I made dinner. And today, I haven't decided what I'm doing today. I need to work on my gimme, gimme, greedy story because I'm only still up to episode 13. I probably need to do another article for this client. And I really need to hire someone to permanently deal with the raccoons in my ceiling. Because they are really, really, really obnoxious, and there's nothing you can. I need to move. That's part of the reason I'm looking for a job. I need to move. Once you get raccoons in your house, you're never going to get rid of them. And I already paused this video several times to bang on the walls and ceiling and play terrible music. It's not working. So, I guess that's it for the update. I will talk to you all later. I hope you are going to have a great Friday and rest of your weekend. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.